Hey, Joe. I just wanted to ask you about Chris Herndon. Obviously, your first year with him. Yesterday was really the first time that we saw some of the glimpses of his potential. So he's obviously been struggling before yesterday. So I'm wondering if you could just give us your thoughts on how he's kind of evolved, the last few weeks and kind of breaking out yesterday.
Well, listen, I think we're all we're struggling as a team, so it all kind of goes together a little bit. I think he has a lot of ability, but when you're on a team that's struggling to put it all together right now, there's a lot of battles that you're having with yourself, and not a lot of guys have had a ton of opportunities this year to make a lot of plays. So you start pressing, and when you press and you look for ways to make things happen, then sometimes it doesn't always end in a good outcome. So I think the more that we can get him involved and get him making those plays, and the more he can continue to do it, then the less he'll feel the pressure to kind of make it happen, and things will just start coming to him.
Greg from the Post, your line is active.
Joe, you talked last night about guys needing to start believing that you guys can win a game. How do you do that? How hard is that to do, at this point in the season at 0-10?
Yeah, it's definitely it's probably the biggest hurdle we have. I mean, or one of the biggest is just that belief, and it's not the easiest thing. When you haven't really experienced what it feels like to get that done as a team, as the team that we have now. So, we just gotta keep. I think I mentioned last night too. You just gotta keep taking it day by day and focusing on it being, kind of where your feet are at, and as long as you do those things, then things will start falling your way, and you'll start playing the way you want to.
Brian from the Post, your line is active.
Joe, after watching the film, what happened in the first half, just in terms of the passing game?
Well, I think a lot of what I thought. We felt like we needed to, to some extent, take some easy completions and play the small ball game and move the chains that way, and we just weren't able to do it. Some bad throws and some just miscommunication, whatever it was. It got to us, and we weren't able to keep ourselves on the field long enough to really get anything going.
Al from Newsday, your line is active.
Yeah, Joe, what have you seen from Denzel, the growth he's shown in such a short time, and what is it like to have a guy like that and go out there and make contested catches and, make the defense, had some pass interference calls on him too?
Yeah, I think it's always tough, especially with a guy like him who hasn't been able to get a ton of practice under his belt. He missed a little bit of training camp, and then, he was hurt a little bit early in the year. So, those are reps you'll never get back, and they're valuable for a young guy like him. So I definitely think it's been huge for him to get into some game action and start to see what it feels like, and then have the ability to be put in position to make some plays and actually come up and do the job. I think that's huge for a young guy like that. I think he definitely has the ability to go up and use his length and use his speed, and I think he's getting better and better at doing those things each week.
Rich from ESPN, your line is active. Joe, we just talked to Sam. He said his shoulder's feeling pretty good. So do you think he'll be starting again this week?
It's really not something that I've thought too much about or have any control of, to that matter. So I'm sure they have a plan for Sam, and we'll see what that ends up being.